pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All in sync.
Okay. Approval of the minutes of January 6, 2024.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from January 6th.
Commissioner Kanowski,
I'll second it if we add in there, like Mr. Eric Arndt said over there, Commissioner Pierce had a lengthy speech. If we can add that part in there. No, I'll second.
okay, Commissioner Pierce, second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Awards and proclamations, nothing. Nothing under public hearings. No bid openings. Visitors and delegation. First of all, we'd like to welcome the Devils Lake Regional Airport. We're going to have the introduction of the new manager, and at this time I'll call the board chairman, Dennis Olson. Introduce him.
It's my proud duty to announce our new manager at the airport. His name is Dominic Aritano. He comes to us from Detroit, went to school in Indiana. I'll let you guys ask him some questions.
Okay.
Hello, I guess let's
Well, welcome.
see what type of questions you got.
Well,
What's your experience in airport management?
So I did a summer internship in Minot, which I heard about this position. I was able to learn under Maria Romanek and Jennifer Ekman down there.
Are you a Notre Dame fan?
No,
he's a Detroit Lion.
Why you gotta rub it in?
I'm actually a Michigan State Spartan fan.
Be that way.
Welcome.
Okay. Well, we certainly want to welcome you. We're looking forward to working with you. And
I'm excited to be here.
yes, and I know you'll get together with Spencer and set up the little spot for you here, and get to communicate with the commission on a weekly or every semi-weekly basis.
All right.
We want you to fit in, and like we said, we wish you a lot of luck there. And you got a beautiful airport to run now, so
Yes, it is.
you're pretty fortunate, I think, for what you got going for it.
Even my dad was able actually saying when he was here that he stopped at Jamestown. He's like, "What did I get myself into?" Then he came here. He's like, "You guys did it right."
Well, that's a good
Yes.
to hear.
Good to hear.
And we appreciate that. So, and we will, of course, we know you'll do a fine job keeping it going. So,
Exactly.
okay. Well, thank you for coming
Thank
here.
you.
And
Welcome.
you'll get a reprieve to leave early today, but that won't happen anymore after that. And the next item is Forward Devils Lake, and it's introduction of our new executive director, and that's Brady Ash. And I don't know if you'll get someone to formally introduce you, but Brady, I think, or Spencer, you want to do it?
Just real quick on behalf of Forward Devils Lake Board, Mayor, Commissioner Hash, you guys both sit on that. I know, Mayor, you sat in through the various interviews for new director, and a young talented gentleman here, Brady Ash, that applied for the job, has accepted it. Today is his first day. Devils Lake native, and I'd just give Brady an opportunity to introduce yourself and whatnot, and you guys can just welcome him and ask any questions.
Well, welcome, Brady.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And just kind of, for those that don't really know you, I got the pleasure to know you for quite some time, but some of you haven't had that experience. I don't know, but so tell us a little bit about yourself. And I know you're a homegrown boy, so
Yeah.
that's a positive.
Yeah, as Spencer said, I'm from Devils Lake. I was actually born in Bismarck, but I think I was brought here after I was a year old. So I've been here my whole life. The last 7 years have been spent in banking. So this is kind of a bit of a change in direction for myself, but I'm excited to embark on this new chapter.
Awesome.
I would just say one of the things Brady's got good knowledge of is, how Forward Devils Lake helps facilitate those flex pays loans. And Brady was on the banking side of that, right? Intermingling between Bank North Dakota and Forward Devils Lake Jobs Development Authority. So he's got good knowledge there. Kid with a promising future ahead of him. So we're excited to work tangentially across this one. I can say at least so for myself.
With being now in Forward Devils, like, what are your or what has the board told you priorities for job wise? What industry would you be? looking at?
I know we have a board meeting tomorrow, so I know they're gonna engage on that pretty heavily. I shouldn't say all, but the main thing that I was told from the start is that no 2 days are gonna be the same. So, and that's, I guess I've come to learn that pretty quick, especially in the banking background, because anything can happen each day.
Because what I know what I'd like to see in this town, industry wise, is more manufacturing jobs and less of the small town, just mom and pop stores, you know.
Yeah, it would be nice, and we
It
used to
would be.
kind of try to focus on that. Was a big problem we run into is housing.
Yep, that's what I'm
and-
saying, but
and-
being, looking forward, because we got the hospital taken care of, as steps to try and get the whole picture together, just don't forget about that part of the picture, is what I'm saying.
No, that's always discussed, but,
Yep.
you know, I think Brady's key now is to make contacts.
Yep.
You know, and I think we helped you a little bit the other day when we were at Altru's open house. We ran into their, and I can't remember his name, but Spencer, you can help me on that.
We met economic development director there, and
We told him about our up and coming guy, and so we thought that, you know, he'd be happy to visit with you, so.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
get to know these people, get to know what works for them, and, you know, those contacts are vital to success.
Yep, I'm excited to start making contact with as many people as I can, local and non-local.
Anything from anybody else? Pretty easy on you tonight, Brady.
the team's getting a lot younger.
We were just talking about
We were
that.
talking about that
The
earlier.
gray
I
hair
said-
up here is kind of like, okay.
I think this
That's it.
table's saved about 100 years
Yeah.
between the three of us here. and everybody.
I was telling the mayor, I'm really excited about the young people coming to the
Right,
city of Devils
right.
Lake.
Mhm. And that is exciting, very exciting,
Yep.
so,
Some new fresh ideas,
and involvement,
absolutely.
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Brady, for showing up, and like we said, it'll be easy on you tonight, but from now on, it won't be.
Get ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Brady.
What's that? Oh,
Congratulations.
yeah, okay, and next would be Sean Rood of the Lake Region Ambulance Service, talking about the Lake Region Joint Training Center.
Another part of the young team.
Yeah, young. God. Put my glasses on here for a little bit. Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, good morning, evening, whatever it is. Just quick updates. The reason I haven't been up here for a while is because
You didn't need money?
No, we don't need money. We're okay with that. We actually have been in about 5 or 6 different electricians. So the whole building has been completely gutted out. We have new plumbing that's in there, new toilets. We received money from the Devils Lake Area Foundation to have computers ready to go up. We have a bunch of monitors ready to go up. Gutters were put up. We fixed a couple of holes. Had to fix a few things after the water got shut off and forgot to put back on again. So a little bit of a hiccup on that. But we do have Lake Region Electric that is working on it now. They're basically keep the costs down. They are going in between projects to get us up. So once the electricity is done, then we can go ahead and start sheeting everything. We already have most of the materials except for the framing stuff purchased, including the flooring. So we're all set to, as soon as they're done, to get her up and going again. We already have, Devils Lake Rural Fires has some of their training equipment in there. Drone team is still housed in there. They have their training equipment. I have a very limited amount of training equipment in there. We're still talking with Otter Tail about the substation that's right next to the store. That's going to be up for bids, but we're kind of discussing a few things on that. Purpose of that would probably be for more of the police department side, sheriffs and police officers for more room if they ever need it eventually. So we're going to look at that as a long-term project for that. So first project is to get the electricians. We've been waiting on that for about a year now.
Yeah, because the building looks like it hasn't been habitated by
No,
anybody for,
we're in there. We come in every once in a while. We spray some weeds and but we're in there a fair amount just to check on things. But
people were
It's
kind of wondering if the money's going to good cause, so.
yep, my money's still sitting there. It's just sitting there waiting for them to finish some of the projects. We are still operating as a training facility. Point of fact, I was going to actually come up, told Spencer it was good timing. We are doing a Stop the Bleed class.
And this is going to be with the fire department, the police, all the first responders, and some of the government offices, where we're going to put on free training, and we're going to see what supplies you need. We're going to write for a grant for that to try to get you some, basically some stop the bleed stuff in your AED kits, things like that. So free training that we're offering, free materials that we're going to offer throughout the region.
Who's offering AED classes right now? Is that fire department doing any of that, or that is, I mean, people, we have these AEDs all over and people want to know who will train them.
We do AED training all the
Okay.
time. So anytime there's a government agency, we do that as a public service. So we can get Nate trained in, so we can do it.
We'll get
Because he says that's what he
What if
wants.
it's not a government facility? What if it's a local facility?
Yes, and that you can go right on our Lake Region Animal Service website and then just ask a question. They have it every month that we do the training. And a lot of the times the businesses get a hold of us and we go there and give them training. So
Can we put a link to that on our website? Spencer, by any chance? Sure.
and that's basically where we're at. We're waiting for electricians. We have been for a while. We have plans going forward. We have some sustainability that we're looking at for long-term projects.
Or is the funding available? You got enough to get the interior done the way you were kind of projecting?
Right, and we haven't got the money from the county yet. They had promised it. We're just waiting, because if there's nothing going on, there's no sense taking the money until we get rolling on the electrician project. So once that's done, we're all set.
When do you plan on being open? What's your,
Once electricians do this, it's getting quite frustrating waiting for electricians. It really is. And part of it is that we're trying to save costs. So we're trying to get by as cheap as we can. And so instead of rushing a project. So that's our big wait. Once that's done, we should be able to get it up pretty quickly. I have a lot of officers that can help out. So that they're pretty good at that. Not those officers.
I didn't think that they're capable of doing a lot of building.
They got a lot of guys that know what they're doing, so
Yeah.
they're gonna help out. So it
Well-
should go pretty quickly once the electricians are done.
Appreciate you coming in, because it didn't see much going on, and questions are being asked, and it's like, I haven't seen anything going on, so I don't know what's. So.
Yeah, my number, you just give me a call.
Yeah.
I'm willing
Well,
to
it's
bring it.
it's good for the community to know
Absolutely.
that things are progressing, and we're spending money wisely. It's important to know that.
Absolutely. I love transparency. So do you guys have any questions for the training or anything
Anybody?
for the ambulance while I'm up here?
How's the that tax district going for the ambulance services?
The tax district is going quite well. They're in the middle of a contract with, so this basically would give the rights of the service over to the tax district. If anything happens, that way the citizens will always have a service in the area. So we're just finishing up all of that now. The board still have to talk. It's not my place, so, but it's going quite well.
I just noticed there's something going on in the legislature for ambulance service stuff. Have you looked into that or what that's?
Which ones would you like to know about?
I don't know. I only saw the one.
So
Well,
there's
it would
five
be helpful.
currently.
Why don't you, if you have a little
Yes,
time,
I
would
do.
you mind
So
giving us a
we
little
have
heads up?
5 possible, and House Bill 1322 is just basically, it's supported by North Dakota EMS Association. I'm on the advocacy committee for that, and it's balanced billing. And we are very much for it. They don't want surprise bills like we have for the flights. We've always kept our bill the same as everybody else, but there's some services that jack prices up. So most of us are all for that. This is what we're allowed to charge. This is what we charge. So that one's probably going to go through. It's got a lot of support, and it's got support by the ambulance and services. So it's a no surprise billing act. Let's see. That one's more about recruitment and retention, House Bill 1311. That's more for the fire department's aspect of it, but we're also looking at possibly getting some Indy purse for volunteer and paid EMS like we did for the fire department. So we're looking at that. That should actually drive some of the costs down. There's one that was keeping the tax districts. The hospitals wanted to be exempt from that because they didn't want to form tax districts if they didn't have to. My only complaint on that one personally was that there's no transparency. So if money's going to the hospital, they can spend it any way they want to without having to show where they're spending it. So that's one of the bills that the EMS Association does not support, because we want them to be able to show this is where you get your money from the people. This is what we're using it for. So it's very specific what we can use it for. We can't just have pizza parties. It's got to be for something specific. And see, licensing, it also has to do a little bit. That's Bill 1394. I have all these if you want a copy of them. So there's about 5 of them there, but the licensing one is if you do not form a tax district for some of these services, then, and if you do not follow by the rules, they will be shut down. So if they don't form a district by 2026, then they can be at risk of losing their license, and then that will create a huge gap because they'll be closed. So if they don't follow with any of the state license requirements, they will be closed. If they don't have good enough response times, then they could potentially be closed.
So our area of coverage now, is that expanded now since some of these lower or smaller communities, are they still in service or are they going away? You know, where are we at with that?
Currently, we are assisting Towner County so that they can
Towner?
stay afloat. So some of my staff is going up there working, but most of it is administrative. We're in the process of doing a contract with them to keep them afloat. Haven't heard from Edmore in some time. So that's going to be a big concern.
Edmore's not functioning yet, are they, or still trying to? You don't know? Well, just if you don't know, that's fine.
They are functioning. It's if they keep their license or not. We will not go all the way up there based off response times. That would be Layden's territory. We'd go all the way up to the road right before Edmore. So right up at the town's edge, and then we'd take up north, basically up to 17. So yeah, we'd be expanding our area quite a bit. So one of the things that we are working on with that bill is basically mutual aid agreements. They're throughout the whole state. So when these smaller services, if they start to fail, then we're going to try to go in and help them. There's the EMS and distress bill that's being brought out. We're helping with that one. So if something happened like for us, then we can actually apply for some money, and the state is going to be able to help out these services. So a little bit too late for us, but for some other services, it can help out a lot. So there's quite a few bills that are going this legislation. It's good. It's good to have some good people behind us helping us out.
And it seems like they're hitting a lot of good things this year that
Yeah, they
should have
are.
been hit last year, but at least they're hitting them now.
Yep, it's starting someplace.
Anybody, any other questions? Thank you for coming in, Sean.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, John.
Okay, we'll move on to commissioner portfolios. Commissioner Kanowski.
Mike, anything on the water department?
Nothing in utilities tonight, Commissioner.
We have, that's it for meeting.
Okay, Commissioner Hatch.
Anything from engineering?
Yes, today I was approached by the Lake Region Snowmobile Club. 10 years ago, the city had executed an agreement with North Dakota Parks and Recreation that allowed a snowmobile trail to follow a section of the flood protection. It ran along the dike. And we had a map that was associated with that agreement. 2 years ago, they had approached the city about potentially changing that alignment to extend the trail along the dike all the way out to Merton's Dairy. Right now, it turns north just south of Walmart and comes up to Highway 2. And the Snowmobile Club was looking at a safer way to get out to Ty's Lodge and connect up with their other trail systems. We received approval from the Corps of Engineers related to adjusting that trail alignment, so we have approval there. But it was late in 2023 in the season when they had approached us, and they didn't do any grooming last year. Now they want to do some grooming, and with that grooming, they would like to use this expanded trail. We don't have a new agreement with us that would define that alignment, but they do want to get out and do that grooming. The new agreement would take, at least based on the agreement that we have, it would take a signature from the director of Parks and Recreation. And so they're working to put another agreement together. It's kind of a standard agreement that they would get to us, and we would adjust that map and the legal description for the trail. I don't want to hold them up. They want to proceed. They think that this route would be a safer route and a shorter route for a lot of the snowmobilers that are using the trail. And so I just bring it to the commission's attention. And if the commission doesn't have any issues with it, we'll open the gate. We'll let them groom the trail on their revised trail, the extended trail that would extend along the dike out to Merton's.
That agreement covers liability issues with that?
Yeah, there's a lot with recreation. There's a lot of If you allow snowmobiles on these trails, it kind of sheds all the liability. So I want to get an agreement together that would be reviewed by the city attorney and then have that in a format that the commission can approve at a subsequent meeting. But
So would the
that was
one
just-
along Elks Drive go away? Would the one along Elks Drive go away, or
No,
they
that
would
would,
still do that?
they would still do that as
Okay.
well. That would connect up to Old Highway
Old Highway
2.
2, right?
This would provide a shorter route for folks from their warming house along
Sure,
Highway 20 and County 1 there
right.
to Ties.
So just an
And their
additional.
area there. There's a need for it. So if there is no issues with that, we'll open the gate, we'll allow them to do that, and then we'll bring forward another agreement for the commission to approve.
I have no issue with that.
I don't have
I have
any
no
issue
issues.
with it.
A lot of times when you're doing things with our flood protection system, there's a process that you have to go through with the Corps, but this is outlined and approved in our operation maintenance manual. So we can do this. If we do other things, we might have to go through, they call it a 408 process, where you're impacting a federal flood control project and it takes a long time and a lot of paperwork in that, but this is already approved in our O&M manual. And like I mentioned, this revised alignment was approved by the Corps 2 years ago, so we're in good shape there.
Okay.
With that, there's a lot of other projects on the agenda later on tonight we'll be talking about. That's all I have for engineering unless you have questions.
I don't have anything else. Sanitation.
Nothing from sanitation tonight, Commissioner.
Rob?
We've got residence revitalization on the agenda for later, but other than that, I don't have anything. If you have any questions.
I have nothing.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Eulenkamp.
Mike, streets, cemetery, weed board, anything.
Say something, right?
Yeah, right.
It's been a
It's
good
the first
winter so
time you've
far.
ever been asked to say something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be careful what you ask for. That's not- He's
Um,
gonna do a presentation next.
I really have nothing for our streets. We have the new plow. The new plow has been out about, if you've noticed that on one of our loaders. So we have that other tool in the toolbox with snow removal. But so far, the winter's been very good. We've
Yeah,
been very
that's good.
fortunate. That's all I have unless you have questions, Commissioner.
I don't. I'm good.
You're good? All right. Commissioner Pierce.
Chief, what do you got?
We have all the training stuff sent off to the FAA. We're just waiting on approval from them. Tanvir wrote to us last week, said he got everything. He's reviewing it. As soon as we get it done, then we'll have a meeting with the airport. Figure that all out. Hopefully that'll get done quickly. It's Derby week. We're busy. That's what we got going on this whole week. Probably next week too. So, if you guys got any questions about the Derby?
I just wanted to say, we wish you guys luck again for another successful weekend, safe weekend. We'll be praying for you and all the volunteers and
Yep.
everybody that comes out. So it's always
Can you tell
Crazy.
me what Derby week is? I have no idea.
nice
The
fishing.
week of the
tournament.
fishing derby.
Oh, that fish, okay. I thought you like were, okay, yes. Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
It
Okay.
was Saturday
okay.
already, yeah.
That's right. Never mind, I got you now. Yeah.
Uh,
You got your late. That, we understand.
wanted to let you know, they have a bill out for replacement or for banning all of the drones that Mr. Jager was telling us about that were made in China, all the UAS drones. The problem is in the bill, it states they will only replace state agencies' drones. They leave out all county and
Of
local.
course.
So I testified online stating that this should be amended to state this because you're going to leave. I had Mr. Jager send me estimated costs of what it would be to have to replace. I included them in that testimony as well.
What are we talking for dollars?
We're talking anywhere around $200,000 because it's going to need all new software,
Yeah.
everything, but it's a good thing because these drones we have right now, it's been found that even though they're not powered up and flying, everything, all the data that's gone into those things, these Chinese companies can access them while they're off and they have the whole United States data pretty much of locations and everything already. But that's where that's at. And I'm going to keep track on what happens with that bill. I will be heading to Bismarck on Thursday to testify for the law enforcement center bills, money bills that Representative Freilich put up. We are now also in the LEC doing a joint powers writing a new joint powers agreement with the sheriff's department on defining what his duties are and what his responsibilities are with the captain in the jail, because he's under the sheriff's, he's a Ramsey County employee, but what does the jail's director, what are her roles? So if it's writing them up, if it's making decisions on things between the two of them, what does the sheriff said he would love to just have her be in charge of everything on him. So that's what we're rewriting the joint powers agreement with him for. So we are also, would you have some time this week or next to meet? Remember I gave you that call to talk about that plot of land that the city owns? I have some questions on looking at if we purchase this plot of land we're looking at compared to the plot of land the city owns. Would it be cheaper to redo the roads in that area for access, instead of buying this huge plot of land, get what we need from the city and it'd be cheaper. Just trying to get all possibilities. We also have 2 new designs coming from Elevatus. One is, because right now it has all of the local agencies in that building. We asked for one that would just have the sheriffs and PD in there like we have now. And then the one would be just the sheriff's department because of the talks of possibility for PD later.
Right.
So we're taking that. So we'll have 3 different options for price wise to look at. So we're not pigeonholed just to one facility. So we're waiting for those back from Elevatus. And that's all I have pending. Any questions?
Well, thank you, Commissioner. My turn. Chief.
We met with Chief Bennett today, and we talked about some pre-planning for the derby.
Thank you.
So yes,
Thank you.
for the fishing tournament. And we just, some what if scenarios. Worst case scenario, we have everything. Nate Bennett did some real good work with his mapping of the area they're gonna have the derby, in case we have something happens, like maybe the ice breaks. I know they have great ice out there now, but it's an incident command thing where law enforcement, EMS, all work together. So that was really good. Thank you, Chief Bennett, for that. And we also had some officers went through some training recently. We had Officer Hughes BHE did some Intoxilizer 8000 training, and that's our machine that tests a breath sample for an estimated blood alcohol concentration for DUIs. And we had officers on Brocky and Hughes B go to Langdon for a criminal patrol seminar, and that was just on the 14th of this month. So that's about all we got. Let's get the questions.
No, go ahead. Okay. Hope everybody's safe in town this weekend, and I'm sure you got it covered with everything you need to on that, Chief, right?
Yep, we got 2 officers working the dances. And
yep. Perfect.
I'll be stopping in on Thursday, I would imagine, for some chili.
There you go. Okay. Spencer.
Mayor Mo, members of the commission, just a few quick things. That City Hall renovation working group met last week and hope to give you guys some presentation at the next commission meeting. We have a plan here for City Hall renovation. I know Commissioner Pierce just referred to a few things with PD. We have a little bit of a grander conversation that we want to have with the full commission as far as it relates to City Hall and the police department with what the LAC is looking at right now, and something with for your guys' consideration as a full commission, get you guys' feedback on your thoughts. That way we can get to action on something. Get to action on something. So hope to give that presentation to you guys at the next meeting. The other thing is legislative sessions going on. Big conversation regarding property tax. House Bill 1176, I believe it is the major property tax bill with all the leadership and governor in support of it. So I think it's talking to the League of Cities and reviewing the testimony, all that sort of stuff. It seems like the caps are imminent, right? It's just what form. Right now, the form is a 3% hard number cap, at least for this next biennium, and I'm sure that they'll go back to the legislature and there'll be a bad example somewhere and we'll have to amend it. And I think even the chairman has said so much that they're not going to come up with the perfect bill. The league and the Association of Counties and the League of Cities are kind of, at least they're advocating for a cap that's more related to the CPI index, CPI index +1, CPI index +2, so it reflects reality and the increased costs that we see as far as, fuel and equipment that comes to our general fund. So those things are going on, and probably a while before decisions made, but that's where they stand right now. And, as the city of Devils Lake, we'll adapt. I mean, we'll have to do what we can. We'll get the job done. Just the how, right?
We're fortunate we set up in a pretty good situation right now, so.
Yeah.
Funding wise, but you never know.
And then last thing is going to have a conversation with the commission here in the weeks and months ahead on setting some firm development policies as it relates to greenfield development on the edge of town. Currently, we're going back and forth with a developer that wants to develop on the north end. And traditionally, the city's strategy has always been to annex the land and put it in a tax increment finance district. We split the cost up, 15% city, assess 25% of it, and then the 60% that tax increment usually pays the bond off, and then we move forward. And in going back and forth and reviewing changes to state law that have happened over the last decade and whatnot, annexing land that was previously zoned ag into city limits, if it hasn't been in city limits within 10 years, we can't put it in a tax increment finance district. So we have to overhaul how we think about greenfield development and need to set some sort of a baseline. This is what the city stance is, and if we want to deviate from it, this is how we're going to do it. Because right now, like other bigger communities, they just special assess at 100% and on we go with it. And we're probably going to have to explore what kind of an incentive structure that the commission wants to see moving forward. So we're going to have to do some research, put some pen to paper, and put something out there so that we know that, at least as far as staff, we have a baseline of where we start, if all that makes sense. So.
Where is this land at?
And the north end of Gleason's land,
Oh, gotcha.
Northland,
Okay.
right? We had talked about that house, that infrastructure, or the housing incentive fund, those projects with the 4 houses, and we're trying to lay out subdivision on the north end there. I think with the TIF structure, we would have gotten to yes, but after further investigation, that's going to be a no-go from my understanding. City attorney and I are going back and forth via emails, but I think it's pretty clear, right? But we'll wait for him to verify on that. So that's where we stand with that, but that's the conversation we need to have because the whole recipe won't work anymore.
Okay. Thank you, Spencer. Jason?
At the last city commission meeting, I advised all of you of alcohol violation, and at that time I would asked the owner of the bar to agree to a 2-day suspension. The owner agreed to that. So the immediate issue is resolved in the sense of those alcohol violations. As far as future ones, I was asked, and I did send a follow-up letter to the owner about the liquor license, and that it is under review, under scrutiny. And that kind of ties into the last item on new business about the downtown. In addition, also under new business, there's an item for sale of city property. I drafted the purchase agreement and the quitclaim deed. If the commission has any questions about those documents, I can be happy to address them at that time.
Okay. That's it? Thank you. Any other questions of the commission to anybody? Okay, we'll move on. Nothing under old business. Nothing under consent. So we'll go into new business. And the first item is sale of city property to Ryan and Allison Schroeder or Yoder. Let me get back to where I'm at here. And so this is something, Mike?
Included within your packet is a memo, as well as an agreement that was drafted by the city attorney, a quitclaim deed and a map. I'll draw your attention to the map so you understand the property that we're talking about. This property is located along 17th Street Southeast, very near the 17th Street pump station south of Walmart. The city had acquired some property in this area in the 1990s, and it was required, part of it was required for our flood protection when the embankment was built there. Since then, there was some infrastructure that was put in. If you look at the map, you'll see a green line. That's our sewer main, city sewer main. And then there's a blue line that shows our city water main. The adjoining property owner had made a request to purchase some of the city property so that they could extend their east lot line and better facilitate construction of a garage. We looked at the area, looked to see what impacts this would be on the city if we were to declare some of the property surplus. And it appears that we can declare surplus a 15-foot strip of the city-owned property, and it wouldn't negatively impact anything. We don't have any infrastructure in that area. We still have plenty of property for our water lines or sewer mains, as well as public right-of-way for the roadway. And there isn't a large enough parcel there that isn't encumbered by water and sewer lines to develop another house. So it's really kind of open land. So we looked at this piece, and then we looked at valuations. We had received a broker opinion of value of costs in that area when the city had to acquire a small strip of real estate for our recent roadway project in the area. And that broker opinion value was 87 cents a square foot. And so with that, we had looked at what that would mean for that parcel that he was looking at acquiring. And ultimately, it's less than $2,500. Purchase agreement that would outline purchase of and sale. The city would sell this property, this 15-foot strip of property, for $2,466.45. Included with this little strip, there will be some future special assessments because we recently completed the roadway improvement project in that area. And the purchase agreement outlines that the purchaser would be responsible for any special assessments due that parcel in the same fashion that it would have to be paid for if the city were to still own it. And so with that, there's a purchase agreement that the commission, if the commission is in agreement with declaring this 15-foot strip of property surplus.
It has no value to anybody else but either him or the city, right?
Based on the layout, that's correct.
Yeah.
Because there isn't enough property left there where you would be able to build a home or a different structure on, because it's encumbered with the water and sewer lines and then the roadway alignment in that area.
Where exactly is he planning? Are they planning on putting that garage expansion?
Right east of his house.
Yeah, I'm guessing right to the.
Yeah, with setbacks,
I'm
you know,
guessing
you
it
can't
would, like,
build your
come out
garage all the
maybe
way to the
here.
property line.
Mhm.
And
So I was
it's
just wondering how
better-
far out it was going to go.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
I understand it's to the
east.
north and to the east of his house. So
Yeah.
it would be in the back there.
Okay.
So with that, I would recommend the city commission approve the purchase agreement if you're in concurrence with the sale of the property.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Eulenkamp,
A second.
Commissioner Pierce. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Kanowski.
Aye.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Eulenkamp.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
President Hall.
Aye, motion carries.
And with that, included in your packet is quitclaim deed. That's with the city attorney, and he thought it may be appropriate to take separate action on approval of that quitclaim deed for the mayor to sign. So if you approve the purchase agreement, we just have to approve the quitclaim
I'll
deed.
make a motion to approve the quitclaim deed as presented.
A second.
Commissioner Pierce for motion and Commissioner Eulenkamp second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 2, city revitalization. Rob.
So before you is, we're looking to partner up with Gate City Bank again for the residence revitalization program that we did last year. The program wasn't quite as successful as we were hoping last year. We had about 8 applicants, only one of which actually went through and obtained low interest rate financing. But we've kind of agreed that we can do a little bit better effort of trying to promote it, both on the Gate City side and on our side when we have people that are coming in talking about these types of projects. And so we are looking to renew that partnership with them again. The only changes that we would have from our end is last year, one of the qualifying factors was the value of the property had to be under $250,000. We would raise that to $300,000 this year. And then I don't know what the new interest rates are going to be yet. We won't have those till the end of February. And again, like last year, this is not an exclusive agreement or partnership. Any banking institution that wants to partner with us to provide low interest rate financing is more than welcome to contact us, and we'd be more than happy to work with them to promote that type of a program. So I'm just looking for approval for us to move forward with the program again for this year.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Hatch,
Second.
Commissioner Pierce. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, item 3, awaiting agreement with North Dakota Department of Transportation. Mike?
This agreement falls in line with some of the previous agreements approved by the commission for improving the lighting along Highway 2 from Goldings Road going easterly along Highway 2 to the intersection that would be for the vet clinic. The agreement outlines a cost estimate of over $700,000 for the improvement, and the city cost share is $0. So we're able to get this lighting improvement at no cost.
All of our responsibility.
That's under as all other duties.
As assigned.
They seem to fall
You know
under
what?
our department
They love to fall back on that one, don't they? All
every
duty,
time.
Well, that's a cover. It's just,
Yeah,
it covers up everything.
Yes, thank you for your
Engineering.
This way nuisances.
Engineering
That's why you get the
work
big-
together to get the improvement for no
So-
cost to the city.
So, okay.
So the agreement is a standard DOT agreement. There's a lot of language in there, but it's the standard DOT agreement that's used on a variety of projects that we work with them. Recommend approval of the agreement.
Be all end all is it doesn't cost us a dime.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Pierce,
I was second.
Just make sure they're not blue lights.
Euland, Commissioner Eulenkamp second. Any further discussion?
Our cost with the agreement will be the operation and maintenance of the lights. So we'll be paying the light bill once they're installed.
Yeah.
And the maintenance of them. But as far as the actual construction cost is outlined in the agreement, we have no cost share.
Okay. It doesn't cost anything. So all in favor of this, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, item 4, Otter Tail Power Company Utility Agreement. Mike?
Included with your packet, there's really 2 different agreements that are included with the Otter Tail easement. Otter Tail is redoing their infrastructure throughout the city, upgrading their wires, changing some of the voltages as far as their distribution to the city residents. And so one thing that they need is they're looking at running a new power line on the very north side of the cemetery from Elks Drive going westerly to Ruger Park and then coming into that substation that's located along 10th Street. To cross our property, they need an easement. So within your packet, the first thing is a memorandum of understanding between the city of Devils Lake and the Otter Tail Power Company. There were some items that were in the easement, but it's not identified in the easement that we wanted to make sure that were addressed. And so we have this memorandum of understanding. And what the memorandum of understanding says is that, we'll grant them an easement for their new power line. They're going to clear a lot of trees that currently exist on the city-owned property for our drainage ditch. They're going to help us out with that and clear a lot of the brush and the trees that are, right now within the drainage ditch. And they're also going to release a couple of easements that we currently have with Otter Tail. So they're areas that are encumbered by an easement now, that easement will be released. And that's what's identified in our memorandum of understanding.
Those trees have to come down. There's no way around it.
The trees that we're talking about here are really the trees that are within the drainage ditch itself. And along the slopes of the drainage ditch. There is a shelter belt located along the north edge of the city property. Along that, some of that will have to be trimmed, but the shelter belt itself, based on everything I've been told from Otter Tail, will remain. They'll remove what's required for that. So the first thing I'll do is recommend that the city approve the memorandum of understanding between the city and Otter Tail.
of understanding between Devils Lake City and the Otter Tail Power Company.
Commissioner Kanowski,
I'll second.
Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
The second document included with your packet is the actual easement, and the commission is welcome to read the entire easement. If you stroll through your agenda, there is a map, and this is a strip of property that's approximately
It's hard to read
170
that
feet
map.
wide that's located north of the drainage area, north of the railroad tracks. And so the poles will be going in north of the drainage ditch located north
Oh,
of the
there it is,
cemetery.
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
One more.
Oh,
2 more. There you go.
there we go.
The
I
reason for
thought
the
I'd stand on my head.
memorandum of understanding too, we do have to maintain that drainage ditch and there will be a power line there. The memorandum of understanding kind of protects us that they will work with us at no charge if they have to de-energize that line, if we have to go in there with a large excavator or do some additional work. I worked with them to try and coordinate the location of that line to the extent practical, so it minimizes the impact on the drainage ditch and future maintenance.
What is the iron monument that was found?
The iron monuments are typically property pins.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe they found something cool.
In a cemetery.
Property pins are pretty cool. They're needed by the property.
We don't need action on that?
You need to approve the easement,
Okay.
grant the easement. It's outlined in the
I'll make the motion to approve the easement, electrical line easement.
Commissioner Pierce,
Second.
Commissioner Eulenkamp. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay.
Does the payment agreement have to be separate from that, or is that all in one?
They included the payment
Oh, I
agreement
got everything.
Yeah.
as part of the
Go
easement.
the other way.
Typically with Otter Tail, because we have a franchise
There.
agreement.
Okay.
We don't charge for easements that we grant them.
Make sure.
Okay, we'll move on. Item 5. A resolution declaring the necessity of an improvement, street improvement 81-25. Excuse me.
Included within your packets are a lot of resolutions. The resolution declaring the necessity of improvement are resolutions that go with street improvement projects because they can be protested. If somebody doesn't want their street improved, they don't want to pay the special assessments associated with that improvement, it could be protested. So you'll have before you a pile of these resolutions. Once the resolutions are approved, I hope yet this week we'll be sending out probable assessments to benefiting property owners. And they'll know if we proceed with projects, what their share of the special assessment should be. Recommend approval of the resolution. This is for the 14th Street and 14th Avenue improvement. The gravel sections of roadway that go out to the four corners that were recently improved with a gravel base. This project that we're looking at would put hard surfacing, hot bituminous pavement on top of that gravel.
And that's funded by federal or roads too, right? Urban roads?
80% of the construction costs would be covered through our federal aid, through the Department of Transportation. You know, we're looking at about $1 million project there, you know, and when we include our engineering, administrative fees and stuff, probably be about a $300,000 local share.
And we voted to approve you to draft these resolutions a couple meetings ago, correct?
It's
These are the
part of the
same ones?
resolution process. We create the district.
Yeah, I'm just making, these are the
Yeah,
ones we talked about.
we've done all of these.
Yep.
It's just another step in that process.
I got you.
through the
I'm
special
tracking.
assessment.
Well, make sure you're not trying to pull something biased there, Mike, because you're sneaky.
We try our best, Commissioner.
How many residents, like, would this one affect?
Realistically, the vast majority of the benefiting properties outside city limits.
Right.
So we will track it and we will notify them of a potential special assessment if they were to annex. And what that will do is we do the improvement and all of a sudden somebody that's outside of city limits wasn't interested in being part of the city. And now all of a sudden, now that the road is paved, if somebody wanted to build there or do something along this new paved road, it would give us recourse for getting some portion of our costs back. But for the most part, the only special assessment that will be levied will be against the park district and some of the adjoining city-owned property and potentially the railroad. I think those were the only three.
As per this map, Cherry Place Northeast and Lynn Place Northeast is included in that?
That's the next.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're getting ahead.
No, but it's on this map, so I was kind of wondering.
That would be the
Yeah,
next.
so it's getting.
The map's got everything on there.
Ah, I got you. I'm tracking now. Just takes me a
I'm
while.
starting to wonder.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate you setting me straight there, sir.
Yeah, it should be the map showing the highlighted area, the shaded area that shows 14th Street, 14th Avenue.
Now that we have an understanding,
I make a motion to approve since I have an
Okay.
understanding.
Commissioner Pierce,
I'll second.
Commissioner Eulenkamp.
People have been wanting this for a long time.
Okay. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 6, that is the same thing. Resolution declaring the necessity of an improvement, street improvement 82-25.
With a map showing Lynn, Cherry, and Jana. That's the area of the improvement for this district. Recommend approval.
Thanks, sir.
Next map.
Thanks. Make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Pierce,
Second.
Commissioner Eulenkamp. Any further discussion?
I suppose this one's.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 7, a resolution declaring the necessity of an improvement, street improvement 83-25.
This district is going to be regular shaped, covers a lot of different areas, includes some roadways that were kind of on the fringe of previous projects, so we're kind of filling in a lot of the gaps with that. It also includes 2nd Street Northeast, where we recently replaced the water main, and that needs some, that roadway needs some improvement. Various areas, as the blue areas are showing you the roadway sections that are being improved. And then the shaded area with the yellow border showing what the district is. Recommend approval of the resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Commissioner Pierce,
I'll second it.
Commissioner Kanowski. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. Item 8, a resolution declaring the necessity of an improvement, street improvement 8425.
Included with that map is areas of 13th Avenue Northeast going from 6th Street North to 10th Street, as well as a portion of 6th Street from 12th Avenue to 14th Avenue. As I had mentioned previously, there's a portion of 13th Avenue there that definitely needs work. And the vast majority of these roadways haven't been touched for a period of time.
Is the sidewalk included in this one?
We'll be looking at the sidewalk. I know
There's
you had
some
mentioned that.
bad spots over there.
Portion of north of 7th Street.
Yep.
There's some areas here where the sidewalk, it adjoins the back of the curb. There is no boulevard. It makes it very difficult for snow storage and removal, and that offers its own challenges. But recommend approval of the resolution.
Make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Pierce.
Well, you were on a roll, so I
Yeah.
just let
I'm
you
just
go.
looking at everybody else.
Now that you know how the maps go.
Okay.
I'll second.
Commissioner Hatch, okay, we got him on there, okay. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And the last resolution, number 9, declaring the necessity of an improvement, street improvement 8525.
This improvement district includes paved alleys in the downtown district. For some reason, we changed the color from blue to green.
You're throwing me off, Mike.
The green areas are the alleys that we would be looking at improving. And the yellow boundary is the district area. So we're looking at approving, the alleys downtown haven't been touched since, for the most part, since prior to the original downtown project in 1992.
And they were all originally paved, weren't they?
At that time, they
Yeah.
were paved, but they were milled and overlaid as part of that work, and some of the steam heat lines and the manholes that were included with, that are 100-year-old infrastructure, they were abandoned and filled up with
Some
concrete.
tunnels in there, that area too. A lot of neat stuff.
Recommend
Happened to
approval
crawl
of the
through some of
resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Oh, okay. Commissioner Eulenkamp,
I'll second.
Commissioner Pierce. All right. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Item number 10, Task Force on Downtown Safety. Spencer.
All right, Mayor Mo, members of the commission here, just to revisit the conversation from the last meeting that we had regarding this task force. I think first off, maybe a little bit separate from the task force and more of a city of Devils Lake piece of it. Commissioner Pierce, when he first brought it up, there was an incident at a local, we'll say, establishment and building in town, right? And, Commissioner Hash, you've been a long time member of or you used to be a member of the police department, and you're saying, we've been going to that property frequently, right? And so we had Chief Toso compile some calls for service data. Mayor, we reviewed city attorney, chief of police, we reviewed those calls for service information. And I think, the word I would use to describe it is alarming, right? The disproportionate number of calls. And so particular establishment had violated in October. City attorney had sent them a letter, and they had voluntarily taken, they consented to a voluntary suspension for 2 days of their liquor license. Sent a follow-up letter, city attorney did on the city's behalf, basically saying that, basically telling the owner to expect a more thorough and detailed review of the validity of the liquor license come the renewal time in July by the city commission. So as far as the city of Devils Lake thing, that's one thing that we've kind of alerted the property owner that's probably likely to come. And that any significant liquor violation between now and then, or even substantial calls for service could expedite the city's review of that liquor license. We thought about doing it immediately, but given the fact that they just consented to a 2-day voluntary, we thought the best timeline would be basically saying, hey, come July, prior to July, we're going to review it. So they've been put on notice for that. Now, as far as directly related to the task force involved, really just refer to the staff report. But task force could include, 2 city commissioners, an official from Ramsey County. I believe Commissioner Frith reached out and kind of on behalf of the commission, they would like the public health director, Mr. Heisler, to participate. And then Commissioner Pierce, we talked about.
Volunteered?
I had a conversation with chamber director here today, and it would be a little disingenuous to have a downtown safety task force if we didn't include some downtown business / property owners.
Yep.
And so instead of the city just maybe selecting them, the chamber will designate two downtown business owners to represent that business community. That's probably a better way to do it. And she agreed, and they were in agreement that would be doable on their part. So they'll designate 2 members.
But what Spencer's saying too is we try to think it's our best interest to do what we can initially, to do what we can as far as, that's why we requested the information on that particular address, because we know it's been an issue and we wanted to see what kind of an issue, and it was surprising. So that's why we thought we'd clean up what we can and get that head start, and then still build off of that at a later date.
And as it relates to PD, we talked about the city hall remodel, that sort of stuff. And at the next commission, we'll give you guys a presentation on some things, ideas we have as far as the PD, its location, how it integrates with downtown, those sorts of things. So we'll give you guys a briefing on that. Anything else on that matter? Otherwise, I can continue, Mayor.
No, I just thought, PD going downtown, maybe being located would be advantageous to, having them real close by, and it's a presence, for our whole downtown community, a safety feel, so it's just been something that we've toyed with and thinking it would be maybe appropriate.
Just threw a whole corkscrew right in.
Well, that's
I'll
what.
tell you. No, so-
Well, I know, that's why we have to plan things and work together with other
Absolutely,
groups.
I was,
I
you
think
know,
it's a good idea.
So, kind of, when you test by the mayor and whatnot, can we find a way to get something like that done? So we'll give you a presentation of how we think we could possibly get that done. And then as far as the task force, Mayor, should I continue?
Yep, go for it. I'm sorry.
As far as the task force, so we got 2 downtown business owners designated by the chamber on representing kind of the downtown business community, overall business community, but a lot of them are downtown as well. And then Commissioner Pierce, you had a lot of people reached out to you interested in getting involved and kind of feel it's probably better not to name specific individuals because it's going to be a long going effort, right? It's all about getting people to talk to each other.
It was really astounding to me how many people reached out just for the mental health specialists in town. I've learned a lot. I went to meetings with some of them. They requested some of the services. What I found very interesting is there's very little communication between mental health professionals. You go to one, you go to something else for something else. They cannot go and reach across to make those appointments and line them up for you. You have to step aside, restart the whole process, and get these appointments started by yourself. That state rules. I was told, for one, I wanted to publicly, as I told him I would, apologize to the Lake Region Shelter. I was misinformed the public. I met with the Machi, I met with Brenda there. She told me that the Lake Region Shelter itself does not hand out keys. Because I said I was told keys were being handed out by the shelter. So people immediately thought Lake Region Shelter. They leave the doors unlocked. And at the end of the business day, those doors are locked down. They don't hand out keys. There's people there to let them in and out. And then they're locked down after business hours. They also do alcohol and drug testing periodically, routinely.
Oh, routine. Okay.
To anybody that's down there. They do not house any high-risk folks in there. That shelter is there for people that are trying to need a new home, need jobs. So they have a program they work through that gets them into counselings, helps them find a job, helps them get to the point where they can be sufficient, and then they're released. It's that type of a organization. So to Brenda, I told you I would apologize, and I will do that. Been told a lot of different things. I spoke with Spencer about 2 sober living houses that are in our town, that were sober living houses that I had no clue were here.
Well, okay, help me out on that. I don't
There
understand
is
what there
a sober living house called Seeds of Eden that is down by off Railroad Avenue, right by Devil's Lake Electric. I spoke with the assistant state's attorney on it. They're under investigation.
What are sober living? So
Try to go in and try to be sober, tried not to, to help these folks stay sober.
Oh,
Okay.
Trying to understand.
They're
that.
under investigation by the BCI and under investigation by federal agencies right now. There's another sober living house, which is for females only. To have a location, they told me it was right across from the jail. No clue it's over there, and I don't know exactly where that location is. So I asked Spencer to research a little bit on that, because I know in the almost 3 years we've been on this board now, they've never come in to ask for a conditional use permit. How did they, I want to investigate.
We got things, the permit process is something I was thinking, we got businesses that start up that nobody really knows until they're here, that vaping for one.
Yeah.
I mean, do they require permits to start a business? I mean, not that they have to pay for anything, but we should have a right to know what's coming into our community.
It's amazing what I'm finding out by asking these
through a permit process, other than someone finds out about it and then protests it, we don't have,
But I think we've when we got on this board, Mayor, we vowed transparency to our residents. And to me, if we don't know about it, how in the hell are they going to know about it?
Well, yeah.
But anyway, I'm learning a lot, which is great. And it's just, Spencer and I have been in contact and working together and.
Well, it's not gonna be an easy job. We
Oh,
know
no, it's
that,
not.
you know.
But it's eye-opening to see the steps that need to be taken. Thank you.
So we're gonna allow Spencer to kind of draft up that.
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
I just have the task force, I kind of put little, here's the lanes, we've got enforcement surveillance, that's primarily city stuff. We got people that, substance abuse services, behavioral mental health services, homelessness, reintegration. And I think it's very important that if we start a task force like this, we come up with the right mindset. One day it's not going to be bad, and then the next day things are great. This is just going to be a kind of an ongoing thing. And I think the value, and Commissioner Pierce, we talked about, it's the real value of having this task force is to get people around the table, get them talking to each other. They probably should be talking to each other right now, but they maybe don't as frequently as they should. And it's a level kind of a, hey, all right, we're going to set a few action items, some timelines. You're going to go do this and give us an after action report. How did it go? Those sorts of things. And really holding that accountability, make sure people are talking to each other. Yeah. And then, like I said, there's the city tangible piece of it, where we do have some cards in our hand.
The biggest complaint that I've seen, that I've gotten from folks, is that they've heard all this before, but there's been no action out of any type of things over the years.
I think it hits a lot of dead ends.
And my promise to them was that we will follow this through. It just won't be a bunch of people sitting around just to take notes and do nothing. So.
And I think I feel obligated to say, we've got a really good downtown. We have a wonderful streetscape. We've invested a lot of money. It's got tremendous bones. And, this task force, if anything, is us trying to respond to concerns that people have. But genuinely, I think, and I mean it sincerely, there's a lot of people that come from out of town. You go walk around, you take them to Old Main and Black Paws, and I'll stop naming others for fear of leaving anyone else. But they feel like, oh, wow, you guys really got, you guys got a lot of good things going. And so
We do.
I think it's with that mindset that good is not good enough, right? And we want to be better as a community. So we're going to put our best foot forward, and as staff, we'll do the best we can to lead in a way in the commission's vision.
Right. Thank you, Spencer, for the time you've taken on this and
So
everybody here.
the work I need from you guys is to designate 2 members for the task force. So
Off the commission?
from the commission, if it suits you, if that's what you want to see.
Well, Commissioner Pierce, will you accept that?
Absolutely.
And then we need one more commissioner?
If you guys want 2 commissioners, I put 2 commissioners because that's usually what we do. But if you only want one, then that's up to you guys.
Sure, I'll do another one.
Commissioner Hatch, thank you. Okay.
So if you guys want to create, I think if you guys made a motion to appoint the task force and the 2 commission representatives, we can go from there, and we'll make sure our friend, Sir Eric, gets notifications of the meeting. Probably hold them right in this room.
So we need a commission motion to establish.
I'll make a motion to establish this task force, and I just want to say thank you to
Commissioner
everybody who wants
Pierce,
to be involved.
second. Who's the second? Commissioner Eulenkamp. Okay, any further discussion on this task force? Not? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, citizen comment. Nothing there. Nothing under informational items. And if there's nothing else, motion to approve the list of bills as submitted.
Motion to approve the bills as submitted.
Commissioner Hatch,
I'll second.
Commissioner Pierce. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Kanowski.
Aye.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Eulenkamp.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
President Moe.
Aye, motion carried. Okay, there's no other business to come before the commission. The meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
There you go.